What's going on, guys? CWG here. Welcome to another Nomifactory episode. And you guys know how in our Vault Hunter series at the very end of the episode we have memes of the day? Well, you guys have still been making amazing memes, so I want to do it in this series too. But at the beginning, crazy. And the first meme of the day comes from MCUs from the Discord. Look at what I made.
Oh, you made another machine?
It's an extreme combustion generator.
Do I have to watch?
This is nuts. Well, wait, where are you going? I thought that one was extra funny. I know you guys have been asking to see Stircat more. She'll sometimes log in, see all the crazy things that I built, call me crazy, and then leave. Anyways, as you can see, in between episodes, I've added even more ore processing multi-blocks, including 2 chemical baths. Actually, one of them is an ore washer, the other is a chemical bath. Because some of the ores need to be washed using distilled water, which is this one over here. But over here, some of the ores need to be bathed in sodium persulfate. Yeah, that's a thing. Most importantly, we need to wash crushed bauxite ore to get gallium. Yeah. Gallium was one of those materials that was pretty difficult to get our hands on, but now we're able to get tons of it. And oh yeah, the wall of drawers is ever growing. Look at all the different materials we're getting now. If I look into the subnet here, we got like 15,000 quartzite, so much aluminum, calcium. Let's look up gallium. Look at that, we almost have 1,000 gallium now. You'll love to see it. And I'm proud to say we did solve one of our crises. We are now positive on phosphorus. This is huge. We need phosphorus to make phosphoric acid, which is used for things such as luminescence. So it's good we're finally positive on that, although, you know, chlorine, fluorine, ugh. I've got a few comments saying we should dedicate a whole area for fluorine, and honestly, that may not be a bad idea. But part of the reason we're getting so many different ore dusts now is because I set up 2 more microverse projection thingies. That's because these rockets can go on 2 different missions. Actually 3, but we don't really care about that one yet. There's a mission here that gives us apatite, tricalcium, and quartzite, and this process gives us tons of phosphorus. And this is now how we've been getting all of our phosphorus. The only downside is, in order to run this mission, you need a gemstone sensor, and these guys are expensive. You need tungsten carbide, which is fine, we're making that. Honestly, the hardest part here is quantum stars, which cost a whole nether star, and radon, which we have. Mainly, it's the iridium that's an issue. If you remember 2 episodes ago, we get iridium from the plat line. And if you remember from that episode, in order to get platinum group sludge, you need one of 6 different types of ores. Sadly, none of these ores come from these missions. But over here, I set up an area for Tier 2 rocket missions. Oh yeah, look at this guy. It requires advanced crafting. I'll show you how we do this in a second. But the Tier 2 rockets is able to get us all of these ores, including iridium salt, which we can use to get radon. Kinda cool. I've put a sign on the top of each projector to show like what the main purpose of the mission is. The main purpose of this mission is to get phosphorus. We also get chlorine as a byproduct. The purpose of this mission is to get lots of titanium, chlorine, and rare earth. Rare earth is actually a byproduct of the redstone ore, because you gotta remember, we're getting a lot more than just what these ores can like give you if you just smelt them. Because we're using advanced ore processing, we're getting all kinds of byproducts. So it can honestly get confusing on what mission, like what's the importance of it. So that's why I like added these signs. Now this mission gives us a ton of manganese, cassiterite ore for us to make indium, gallium, as you guys saw earlier, and finally, zinc. We finally have a renewable source of zinc. If we look at the system, yeah, 640 zinc dust. And as for indium, we're already at 130 indium. Oh, we're gonna get into that package in a second. Now, sadly, this mission also does not give us the ores we need for that platinum sludge. But if we look at the uses for the Tier 3 rocket here, we can get tetrahedrite, which is one of the ores that can give us platinum group sludge. So technically, if we can automate Tier 3 rockets, which is gonna be expensive, just look at this recipe. But if we can automate it, that's pretty much automatic platinum group sludge, so automatic iridium, blah, blah, blah. So I think it will be well worth the investment. That means we have to automate these Tier 3 rockets. And I've not even showed you guys how we've automated the Tier 2 rocket, so let's go check it out. So these guys right here are extended and elite crafting tables. Look, oh my gosh, extra crafting slots. This is an expert mod pack. This is how the game is going to force us to spend copious amount of materials on a single item. Now, what's cool about these crafting tables is you can duplicate them. I can put them in the crafting grid and get 2 of them out, and then turn that into 4, and then turn it into 8. So you only have to craft the first one, which is nice. But they do cost these like advanced crafting components and catalysts, which costs, yeah, luminescence again. That's why we need the phosphorus and like a bunch of black steel. We already have that automated. I've just been going down this portion of the quest book and unlocking the tables, but we already have all the materials to build these things. But as you could probably guess, we do not want to do this by hand. Otherwise, we have to gather all the ingredients by hand, put them in the table, and that's a lot of work. Luckily, there is a mod in this mod pack that can automate this process. I present to you the Package Auto mod. And this entire series, I've managed to go without watching a YouTube tutorial, and I've been so proud of myself. But for this mod, I had to watch a tutorial. The way it works is not the most intuitive, and it kind of gets explained in the quest book, but I don't know, I'm more of a visual learner, so hopefully I can help you guys out. All you need is a packager, an unpackager, and an advanced package crafter of the tier of craft you want to do. For us, this is set up for the tier 2 rocket. Inside the packager is where you put your recipe holder. This thing's actually pretty expensive and requires auto crafting parts. Funny enough, we've not even really set up AE2 auto crafting yet. I know I've been getting comments asking when we're going to set it up. It's kind of been a bit of a personal challenge to see how far I can make it without using AE2 auto crafting. It's been a pretty fun challenge so far. Although I do think we're going to have to get into it really soon because things are starting to get quite complicated. So, you go to your package recipe encoder here, which doesn't even need power. You pop it into this slot, and just one of these holders can take up to 10 different recipes. Pretty cool. As you can see, we've already saved our tier 2 rocket here, and it will save the recipe as a recipe package. You can basically think of the packages as like shulker boxes holding all the items. And as long as you have the packager and unpackager next to the crafting thingy, we should be able to see it inside of our system. Right here, recipe package. And we could actually request one of these guys because we already have all the individual components automated. Only thing is, we have no crafting CPUs available. Yeah, like I said, we haven't even set up auto crafting. But I actually have built the stuff that we need for it. I have a co-processing unit and a crafting storage right here. I'm not really sure where we're gonna put all of our AE2 stuff yet. Maybe along this line. For now, we'll just pop it here to show how this works. Just connect it up, and this thing basically works as like a crafting computer. So let's see if we can request our package here. I'm going to hit the start button, and the materials should be going in. Oh, it already made the package. It was so fast we didn't even see it. Oh, I think we have to have another one of these guys in here. Hold on. Unfortunately, to craft these recipe holders, it requires a block of crystalline. And guess what the recipe is for this? Yeah. You see why we have to automate extended crafting yet? These are a pain to craft. They even require nether star nuggets. You can't make this up. Alright, that should be enough crystalline. Alright, I got some more recipe holders. I think what we have to do is place it in here and then press save. It now knows the recipe. Now I think we put it in the unpackager and we can place our package inside. You see? Oh, it's in here. It's working. The unpackager takes the shulker box thingy and then spits it into the crafter and it crafts it for us. Then it automatically gets sent into the system, which means it probably ended up over here. Yep, we actually have 3 more rockets on backlog. Okay, so now that we have the recipe inside of the unpackager, we can actually see the tier 2 microminer inside JEI. So let's go ahead and request one. And yeah, it just works. Listen, you don't have to 100% understand how this thing works, but it works. And that's what matters. So we have to do the same exact thing for the tier 3 microminer. And we're going to have to make a different setup because it's going to require a different package crafter. Although I wonder if an unpackager can do different tiers at the same time. I actually don't know. So we're going to need to craft the elite package crafter. We can make the components just fine. That's no big deal. We can make this ME packaging component. It's a little bit of a nested craft, but we have the materials. The hardest part is this automation interface. Not only does it require more crystalline, but it requires osmiridium. And in order to get osmiridium dust, not only do we need more iridium, which is the reason we're trying to do this in the first place is so we can get more iridium, it requires an LUV mixer. And I'm not really ready to get into LUV yet. That is the voltage tier above IV. But there is another way. It can also be made by using our alloy blast smelter. And we set this up in the last episode, but it does also require LUV power. But we can handle that. All we had to do was go to our alloy blast smelter and put 2 IV hatches on the back. So this thing operates at LUV power. And anytime I run this thing, it like drains the power from the whole base. But we need more osmiridium. Oh, luckily we have exactly 3 iridium dust. You'll love to see it. I think you also need cobalt? No, you need osmium. That's why it's called osmiridium, C-dubs, you fool. We do have some spare osmium dust. Just change it to circuit 12 and we should be able to blast this. Yeah, look at that. It's using 30,720 EU per tick. I've had to give this guy its own battery bus just to make sure it's getting enough power. And it's ready. Now we just have to wait 30 seconds for each ingot to cool. Gregtech. And now we have our tasty osmiridium. So I'm going to go ahead and make another setup for tier 3 rockets and we'll be right back. Oh wow, there's another setup. And something I learned, all 3 of these machines here can all get power from one single AE connection. You don't actually have to run power cables. The more you know. All right, let's do this together. First, we have to select the proper crafting table, so we have to select the elite one. Next, we look at the recipe for the tier 3 rocket and then just press the plus button. Wow. Now all we should have to do is press save and it should encode both of these recipe holders. We then put one into the packager and one into the unpackager. And I think that's all you have to do. So can we like request a tier 3 rocket? I mean, we can, but we're missing like all the materials. Yeah, I got a lot I gotta automate still. I think the most expensive thing is gonna be these MV field generators because they're gonna require magnesium diboride wire, which is another one of those fancy alloys. It's going to require 2 boron and 1 magnesium. And luckily, boron is one of the things that we're getting from ore processing now. I mean, look at that. We got 222 boron right there. We are getting the boron by electrolyzing borax dust, which comes from a byproduct of salt ore. And the salt ore comes from this mission right here. So I'm going to add another sign here that says boron. It's important to remember what each mission gives you. Especially me, I forget things pretty easily. Well, we got more things we need to automate, including HV turbo combustion generators. Luckily, we can reuse all the ones that we had back here. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of nested crafting. Oh boy, let's get started. And we've done it! I think we've automated all the stuffs and things we need for this tier 3 rocket. As you can tell, many machines are still running. There is a lot of buffers that need to get filled up, but all this is passive, so over time, we should eventually get enough stuff. Look at all the crafters I needed. This crafter wall is getting ridiculous. We got one making like ferni, gold ferni, copper ferni, silver ferni. Also, we can make these reactant dynamos, which are needed to make the reinforced thruster. And all of these are crafting recipes. So I couldn't use machines for this, sadly. But hey, it's all set up now. Look at that beautiful line of crafters. Now there was one extreme craft that was needed. As you can see, the rockets need reinforced mining lasers, which are another advanced craft. Oh boy. But as I mentioned before, with these recipe holders, they can hold up to 20 recipes. So now we have one for the advanced laser and for the tier 2 miner. And this guy over here should be able to craft the tier 3 rocket. So if we look at our system, let's look up micro miner, try to craft a tier 3 rocket. Looks like we have everything we need. Let's press start. We should see, yep, the laser's being made right now. I think it has to make 2 of them. Yep, there goes one. We should be seeing the other one soon, unless we already crafted it. We did. Look at it go. Our first tier 3 rocket. Oh boy, we need a screenshot. Here we go. There it is in the system. We gotta grab it. Woo, tier 3 microminer. And the real question is, do we have what we need to make another one? Oh my gosh, we do. I'm not gonna do that yet, but now that we have everything automated, these tier 3 rockets should be no problem. Man, we're progressing so quick. We're already at tier 3 rockets. And I set up another universe projector over here. And to run this recipe, all we need is rocket fuel, some super chests, which actually aren't too hard to craft. I need to automate aluminum crates though. Some quantum flux, that's easy to make with moon dust. And I think we're ready to send the mission. Here we go. It took it. It's going to take how long? 35 seconds? Honestly, the time on these guys is not bad. And this should give us 11 different types of ores that we get to process. I'll put a picture on the screen here, but I made a little chart of all the new types of stuffs and things that we're going to get. We're going to be getting vanadium, antimony, so we can finally automate soldering alloy. We're going to get cadmium, cesium, and of course, we're going to be able to make that platinum sludge. That's the most important part. And there we go. There's all the ores. Let's double check the bus to make sure none got left in the hatch. Yep, we're good. And now we get to process all these tasty ores. I think some of them we already have processing for, like ilmenting. Let's slap a storage bus on the back here and see what ends up getting processed. Oh, yep, it's sucking ores. It sucked out all the ilmenting and the cassiterite. And the redstone ore. That's going to give us more rare earth. If we look at the byproduct, yeah, that gives us tons of rare earth. And rare earth is used to get all the other stuff like yttrium. But our prized possession is right here. Oh, not that one. But our prized possession is right here. Tetrahedrite. This is the stuff that we need to purify, which will also give us some cadmium if we use sodium persulfate. But this is how we're gonna get our platinum sludge. Oh yeah. We also get all kinds of other ores. Yeah, tungsten ore, lepidolite. I don't even know what this is really used for. Oh, it could be used to get more boron. You'll love to see it. Oh, and cesium. Okay. I'll have to drop another sign down here. There we go. Vanadium, antimony, cadmium, platinum, sludge, cesium. Now I get to do the fun process of setting filters for all these ores and ore processing, which means we're gonna need even more drawers. Oh yeah. All right, I went ahead and processed all the ores we had through ore processing. It's all automatic now. Let's see how much of these materials we managed to get. Starting with vanadium, which is used for many high-tier alloys. 240. Not bad from just one mission. Let's check out antimony. We got about half a stack, but you don't need that much to make soldering alloy. Next up, cadmium. Oh, we have a ton of cadmium. This will be used later to make, this thing. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that. We managed to get over a stack of cesium. That's pretty good. And the most valuable thing we're looking for, purified tetrahedrite ore. This is what's going to be used to make our platinum sludge. Now I just have to remember which of these machines does platinum sludge. Oh boy. Oh wow, we found it right away. You guys have left me in the comments that eventually I'm going to forget like where stuff is being made. And yeah, you're right. Next mod pack we play that has Gregtech, I'm going to separate everything into like their types of items, like plates, rods. That's going to be a much better way to sort this. Although I do kind of like the chaos. It's nuts. All right, so over here, all we should have to do is switch the filter from purified sheldonite to purified tetrahedrite. And look at that, it's making our platinum sludge. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at all this nitric acid we have. And the platinum sludge is getting sent over here, and hopefully iridium will no longer become an issue. Oh wow, we have 21,000 salt over here? I should probably turn that into chlorine, huh? Alright guys, let's see if this salt in this drawer here, 21,000 salt, can solve our chlorine crisis. I mean, after all, I think that equivalates to over 1,000 buckets of chlorine. So here's how we're gonna do it. I set up an electrolyzer here. Above it is a drawer slave, which is able to pull from any of these drawers above. So we will apply a conveyor to the top here, put in an item filter, and then we can set it to salt. And then just press import. And look at that, we're getting that tasty chlorine. I have an interface on the bottom here, so that way we can use another conveyor module to push the sodium back into the system. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't want our system getting clogged with sodium. So instead, I'll just have the machine output to the top. But if you ever do this, make sure you screwdriver the machine so it can input from the output side. You then have to set your conveyor to manual IO unfiltered. There's a lot of text here, but just know you have to do it. We can now set up another drawer over here. Tell this to auto eject items, and it should go into the drawer. Oh, it's too far away from the controller. Remember that drawer controllers have a range of 12 blocks. We'll just put it up here. It's fine. Now we just need somewhere to put our tasty chlorine. Super tank on the side, apply a pump, and we're collecting chlorine. Oh, we have over 100 buckets of chlorine now. Watch how quickly the system's gonna suck out the chlorine as soon as I apply this fluid storage bus. Oh, it's sucking it. No, 90 buckets, come on. Hang in there, chlorine. Oh, it's hanging in there. The chlorine's going up. For as long as this salt lasts, we can actually keep up with chlorine demand. It's a Christmas miracle. C-dubs, isn't the salt gonna run out eventually? Shh, we don't talk about that. Oh, we need to touch a tier 2 microminer. We never actually got the quest. Let me touch you. Quest complete. So you guys may be wondering, now that we have the tier 3 microminer, what is our next objective? Honestly, that's a great question. What's that one meme where it's like, I don't know, I didn't think I'd get this far. Oh, we should pick up these things. The Signalum upgrade kit. If we apply these to our diamond generators, we can get extra power. Oh yeah, I got the quest for indium apparently. It is gonna require blocks of lumium, so wow, that's expensive. How much lumium do we have? Oh, we actually have like 1,300 lumium, okay. We need to make 5 of these guys. So we need signalium plates. But luckily, we automated signalium like a few episodes ago, and we have 1,800 of this stuff now. Oh yeah. Hey, we got a quest. I honestly automated this stuff and kind of forgot to even use it. Let us sap some redstone gears. Nice. All right, we should be able to make 5 of these guys. Heck yeah. Quest complete. So right now these guys can make a maximum power of 6,250. They're not burning diamonds right now because we're getting the power from the extreme combustion generator, which has been allowing us to save a lot of diamonds. Look at that, we're at 128,000 diamonds. You'll love to see it. All right, so if we apply 1 upgrade, it now has a max power of 12,500. Yeah, that literally doubles the power output. Here you guys go, have more power. So that means total, our diamond boys can make 60,000 FE per tick, which is going to be a really good backup in case we draw too much power from our combustion boy. Also, there's 2 more slots for fuel catalyzers, so we can make them even more fuel efficient. Time for more upgrades. Next, we should make the Signalium satchel. Right now, the satchel we have has this many slots, which is pretty good, but we can easily upgrade this guy. Quest complete? Oh, I need to touch some Electrum nuggets, apparently. Quest complete. And how much room does it have? Oh, we get a whole nother row. Let's go. We can store more conduits and duct tape. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 3 options for what we can work on next episode. Option 1, we go down this path of the quest book and get into nuclear reactors from Nuclear Craft. Option 2, we make the IV circuit assembler and then we start automating the next tier of circuits. This may be the smart thing to do. Option 3, we get into some more realistic chemistry and we make polybenzimidazobubla, or PBI for sure. I'm just gonna call it PBI. But yeah, this would require some more chemistry. Or option 4, we spend all of our signalium and go for the tier 4 microminer. I mean, just look at all that signalium it's gonna cost. Oh. But if we do manage to make this thing, we can send it on missions to get iridium and osmium, dense ores, or oil. So go down to the comments and say if you want option 1, 2, 3, or 4. I will also make a poll on my community tab, and whichever one wins will be what we do next episode. Make sure you guys join the Discord, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. CWG, ow.